All right, we are gonna get started as soon as I pop this up.
Good old YYCHR.
Yes, that will become relevant in a mysterious time and in a mysterious place. So for now, I want to say welcome back to those of you who have seen it before, or if you have not been here before, welcome to. This was in my game, Cut Content and Retro Games, aka the panel about the Cutting Room Floor website. Woo! So if you've never heard of the Cutting Room Floor is a website and a wiki that documents cut content in video games, regional differences, some game prototypes, and just an assortment of other uncommon knowledge. And as of this year, I am proud to say that it is on its 15th year anniversary. So a quick little bit about myself. I am Rick Fox, aka the awesome username of Rick, one of the staff of the Cutting Room Floor. I got started on it I became staff around 2010 when I used to have a previous wiki, and then I found out Xkeeper Rachel had started the Cutting Room Floor as a wiki. So I ported all my stuff over, and then I later found out I was the inspiration for it being a wiki format, or at least the person who spurred them to do that.
The original Cutting Room Floor wasn't very wiki.
Rachel's website.
Yeah, she just posted a bunch of
yeah, basically.
So technically, you were a clone.
Yeah, so where I'm gonna admit right now, I'm not the best hacking programmer person, but I'm the one who tends to do the promotions. So yeah, you have your spam right there. One other thing I will add to, I'm forgetting to add this in at the end of my panels, but if you are interested, if you're like a live streamer, Twitch streamer, something like that, if you're looking for a guest at some point, I am opening myself up to like guest appearances. We can work that out. Feel free to talk to me about that later. Just as long as, we kind of talk, give me a minute or two to talk about the Cutting Room Floor. It's about whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be about TCRF stuff. And a quick couple of housekeeping notes before I begin, because I want to kind of jump into this before I start talking forever, because I only have an hour instead of an hour and a half with this panel. The first one, open Q&A. I can hold off on stuff to show. I can talk at you all day. Trust me. We can go long on this panel. Don't tempt me. I want to make sure I try to answer your questions, though, in the best I can. Raise your hand. If somebody is raising their hand, I don't see them, please alert me. Second, open door policy. It's a convention. I get it. I appreciate any amount of time you're choosing to spend with me in this panel, and I deeply appreciate you. And thank you very much. Don't feel bad if you get to take off early for any reason. With that being said, why don't we delve into something, shall we? You didn't come in here to hear me talk, did you? Yes, you did. Don't lie to me. All right, so those of you who have seen this is a great icebreaker. So Mario 3. So Mario 3 actually has a debug mode to it. Is anyone familiar with this term on what a debug mode is? Okay, I see some hands going up. So basically, for those more not in the know, debug modes are it varies from game to game what's in it, but it's like a developer test mode. It can manifest itself as in like high-powered cheats, basically anything they can do to kind of test the levels out. It could be menus, anything of that realm. Yes.
I was gonna say the main reason why a lot of finalized versions have debug modes in them is because during development they don't know exactly what version of the game.
Yeah.
So they usually just leave them in.
Yeah, and it's just easier to just kind of render it inaccessible as opposed to just delete it outright sometimes. Yeah. So Mario 3 has that. So who has heard of a Game Genie before? Sweet, I don't feel so old. Thank you. I mean, back in the day, that's what we used for cheats. We didn't have fancy emulator cheats. We had 3 lines. 3 lines.
Game Genie has classic stuff.
One of them, though, one line of code will access this debug mode that is available in Mario 3. So on the title screen, when you press start, notice how everything's kind of froze here, but when I press up and down here, you have a world select right here. So you starts at number 1. You can't actually see the text or anything like that, but it's there. So world 1 all the way to world 8 and back again. If I press A, note how the R in Mario Brothers changes, or bros. At me, bro. So every time I press that A button, you get 5 more lives up until 99. All right, so let's get a little more in the thick of it. Anybody, first person, give me a number between 1 through 8.
7.
I heard 9 in the crowd. You were wrong. I heard 7. All right. I'm gonna turn that up just a little bit.
You're gonna be Mitch Flower Power and do the wrong work on us.
Maybe. All right, so let's get into the thick of it. So actually, I got a little ahead of myself with that question, so we're gonna rewind. Yes. I apologize. It's been kind of a more functional thing than that. Just more functional than anything. So I haven't had a chance to kind of play with all the settings like I have.
No polish.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, once we get into the map screen here, which I have skipped over twice already, you press B, so you actually start with a full inventory. So you have 1 of each item,
And
2 warp whistles, and then the rest are P-wings. So those are there so the developers can kind of fly around anywhere in the level and test things out, kind of like a free what is it? A free movement mode.
Yeah, they just give themselves developer tools.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's all programmed in. And so we get in. The one thing you're not going to notice right away is that you can continue playing after time runs out. This is there so that the developers can test things for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
So we,
I think some
get in
developers
here.
had, like a lot of quality tests they had to do,
Mhm.
and one of those tests was like the game needs to run for a certain period of time and it can't crash.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I have a funny story about that.
Oh, but what did I do here?
Sonic 3 Blast has that. So
I
if
will-
it crashed, it would go into the level select.
Yeah.
That's how they bypass like the ticket check.
Yeah, but what's going on here? So you press select and you can cycle through any of the power-ups that you want. And if you hold B, press select, it's kind of funky. You get the shoe! I know, now you can bring it into any level you want. You can live out your wildest dreams in this game.
Right now it's like a hero block.
So why, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
assets in the level.
Yeah, because generally it seems to be loaded when, especially when there's spinies in the level. That's when it seems to load properly, because that's kind of what that graphics banks.
I think the level flags have to be set for those graphics to be.
And we can also have a bit of fun.
Graphics.
Boink.
Now you're just. Oh, you're just invincible.
Yeah, now I'm just cheating. But I can't go into the pipe unless I switch back, so. But why don't we have some fun? Why don't we pretend we're developers for a moment and test something out, shall we? Whee! So why don't we see what happens when we try a shoe in a water level, shall we? Blump! Yeah, the shoe is definitely not programmed in a water level.
Iron boots.
Iron.
Yes.
Or the middle cap.
Have you ever been kicked in the head with an iron boot? No, dumb question. Skip that.
It's the metal cap before the metal cap even.
Boink. Yeah, basically. Give me the one up.
Oh no.
Bet you've never seen somebody die like that before, unless you've been in my panel, have you? Spectacular! But yeah, with just one simple line of Game Genie code, you can access this to play around with all you want. But it is not the only thing that is mysteriously there. Let me get back into World 1, shall we? Where are we? It's an unused ice level. So they kind of dummied out the pointer to go to this level, but they it's pretty much that the developers would place new levels on that start panel so they could just jump into the game and test it right away. So I think this is probably one of
they were testing.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Developers playground.
Those what probably happened was they were under a lot of crunch and they couldn't test this stuff. Maybe they probably didn't meet quality standards.
It could have been. It's they could have been working on it. They could have run out of time. But it varies out, I guess, right now.
Kind of understandable since Player 3 came out in Japan on 1988.
Yes.
We didn't get it until 2 years later.
Yes. And there are some regional differences because of it too, but we can get to that in a little bit. But it is not it's not just platformers that get this kind of treatment as well.
And games.
Oh yeah, many games get the treatment. Let me see. I thought I jumped in on. Oh no, that's my mess. That's my mess. And bear with me. This is a lot of emulator switching that I could use BizHawk, but I'm just a masochist. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Animation tests or something?
No.
Let's see. We have Booster in the audience, folks. Make sure to feed cake after panel. All right, so what is this? What is this? Yes. So here you have just one of a couple of test modes in this here. Scene is a battle select, so you can go to any battle formation, including with ones that do go unused. I'm gonna do this one. Cool. Boss fight. Go back and press start. Object.
I love how they put like categories on there. That's
Yes.
so helpful in development.
Whee! So yeah, you get player, monster, effect, magic, kind of sorting it out there. Thank you. So you can see like all the different graphics in that one. BG, when we get back in, no, oh, stop. All right. Okay.
I have an idea. Press the flower one.
We're just gonna hit him. Why not?
Yeah, then press start.
BG, let's just say I don't like this background. There we go. We're gonna take it outside. When we go to HP max, HP max, that'll fill your HP back up. Music. Let's see. I ain't feeling this track right now. Sure, that works.
And my name's Booster.
Coincidentally, yes. SE sound effects. That'll do that. Line is a CPU usage meter, so if you can kind of see that black bar flickering, yes. This one, you access this with a Pro Action Replay cheat. I have this set up right here. But the code is on the site, basically. I can go into it, but I'd have to quiz you all after the panel. So, I mean, that's just that's a requirement for this. Did I see your hand go up? Okay. So yeah, that little flickering bar is a CPU usage meter, so you can see how taxing it was on the system there. Let's see. So effect, you get up that. Anime!
Yeah,
So you can kind of see the effects pop up and stuff with that. Now!
yeah, the folder display folder.
And there's a couple of quick events which the developers use to kind of go to things. We can go here and fight Bowser for the great beyond. No thanks. Or we can fight Boomer. Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Or we can go to
Final boss.
yes, Sledge.
And you get this.
Yep, you're dead.
Yay! Didn't think you were gonna get out of it that easy, did you? And then the last thing here, so it tests Smithy's transformation thing, and then you have soft locked the game. Yes. Thank you.
Oh. Who did that? Wait,
Thank you.
I mean, you just kind of you do homebrew. Oh yeah.
And
Damn.
found the speed tag. Fight it.
Oh, you had to work with their weird SA1 campaign. Yeah, that takes a lot of effort.
How do I have to say?
Oh no, that's fine.
That's awesome.
One other, I'm gonna do a little new piece actually for the panel here. So, I'm gonna go back because it's just easier to reboot the emulator and softening. Anyone remember Wizards and Warriors fondly? Made by Rare. Yeah. The map. This will become relevant momentarily because there is actually an unused map item. You have to access it kind of with a pro action replay style code, but if you press select when you have the map item, it temporarily brings you back to the map. Now, let me move around the level a little bit. Follow me here.
Oh.
So the white thing actually will follow your position.
Tracks you based on where you are.
Yeah.
In the level.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great map.
Yes. The red dot is the place that you're supposed to access to get to the next part of the level. So it's kind of like the goal spot. Yeah. Now, if I go back in and I go through this door here and use the map, it's gone. So my working theory is that they may have cut it because it's really only useful in the first half of the game. Because once you get into the castle area, it pretty much does this, and it's pretty much useless at that point. So there are no shortage of useless items in this game, but this one would have been a little bit handier than most, outside of like the Boots of Lava walk, which lets you walk pain-free on the lava for 2 seconds instead of 1. Woo! Yay! Impressed. Just give me the boost of 4 so I can kick things. But no, unfortunate little piece that got cut actually, and I just kind of
That's a nifty little feature, yeah.
It is.
It would track you around on the map, show you where to go, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been really useful in the purple caves over there, because that one can be kind of maze-like when you're playing it without a map. Yeah. But not everything is useful and hidden. Sometimes our friendly devs leave Easter eggs. Yes.
Yep.
Purple. Oil.
So what we have here? We have a warp star here. We have Gordo. We don't have a warp star anymore. What's going on here?
Oopsies.
Yeah.
Overflow.
There's an alternate way to do this trick.
Hello, Hal Room. So Kirby's Adventure, this is actually the first instance of a Hal Room in the Kirby series. So we have a nice little, we have a random broom hatter here who I presume is there just, to keep it all tidy and nice for when it's ready. The black thing there is a door. I'll explain that in a minute. But yeah, we have the first instance of a Hal Room. I actually knew back in the old internet, David Wan's unique video game glitches.
I remember that.
Yes. He actually put it as a super secret on the site. I actually submitted that to his site, and it was a super secret section of his site. So I kind of broke the news on this one. I found this one.
You know what's interesting? I think in other Kirby games, I think the Hal Rooms are always behind the first warp star in some capacity. I'm not sure about that, but they're usually round warp stars.
Yeah. So basically, with the door there, yes.
What's the Hal Room?
A Hal Room?
Yeah, Hal Room.
Oh, that's what I just showed off there. The little area that says Hal.
Okay.
Yeah, Hal's just the developer.
Okay.
But the door is actually there, and the reason for the door being there is how warp stars are coded to work in this game. So the special effect that you go wee is one thing, and then actually going to the next room is another thing. So the warp star has to be connected to a door object somewhere in that area, and it's just hid off screen here. So that way,
I thought
we can successfully do that, move off to the next room.
I hope I'm not jumping ahead or anything, but I thought the debug room led to the house.
Oh no,
I thought there was like a door in the debug room that took you to that door up there.
I think there is. I don't remember. There's a lot of wiki that I try to keep in my head. So I'm not just a staff. I'm also a customer. No.
I don't think it spawns.
I don't know. I've never tried it. I haven't played around with the Kirby's Adventure level editor, so that could be someone. Something can tell me later on when they played around with it.
If anything, it'll probably just crash it.
Maybe. It's just got to go somewhere. But that's not the only thing that devs can leave like that. That's a pretty simple one. Let's go to a very, very riveting game as soon as I get to the proper place in my notes. Okay, thank you, Kirby. You've done wonderfully. I bring you the exciting NES racing Days of Thunder with all the excitement of watching paint dry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult the devs. It's just it wasn't fun for me. However,
a good game.
Play it sometime outside, but
I've played it. It's not very good.
Still gallery wrong.
with a push button cheat. Yes, this is the Days of Thunder Gallery. The authors of this game wish you a Merry Christmas. This is where we work. Isn't it a nice place? The sun always shines here. Yeah, it really has. This is Trevor. He is our project leader. Doesn't he look worried? This is Andrew 1. He did the pits in 2 weeks. That is why he looks this way. Bells! Carl, he likes ABBA. Need I say more?
Okay.
This is Parrish. He is an idiot. He used to work on Days of Thunder. The best part of it are about the 6 rows of teeth in his mouth like a shark or something. Oh, I know, right? This is Gary. He is famous. He does not have any hands. Well, his writing could get better. Andrew, too, says, Gucci for men of distinction. This is Jamie. Grr, 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 he goes. Across all arable land, a land that is tilled by Arabs. It's a product of its time.
I guess we kind of saw that with the Apple one. So,
Yeah. And then once you get back to that one, there's your slideshow. You have just seen the most interesting thing in this game. And this is actually accessible with a push-button sheet. No fancy Pro Action Replay codes or anything necessary. No hacking. It's just right there. You hold A and then you press B an amount of times. That spells out DAZE for days, kind of Days of Thunder, kind of parodying that, and you get that. Yes.
That is a good question. Yeah. We gotta remember graphics
Yeah.
back then. They all use like tiles and tile maps and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like compressed and compartmentalized.
I would imagine so. It's
Maybe like a
it could be. I'm not the one with the programming shop, sadly, on the TCRF staff. I just have a love of spamming. In all the right ways. Really?
Big devs, they
Wait,
was.
Argonaut?
Cool. No, game dev stuff is hard work, so I tend to be reluctant to seriously like shoot a game down. That's really, really, really hard work. I much respect. Yeah. Kusoge, anybody? Trio the Punch, anybody?
Okay.
41 kilobytes.
Yes. Yes.
That was the game. That was
Yeah. So why don't we show off some unused graphics a little bit, shall we? I'd like to open up with this one because me and Rachel actually kind of co-worked on the page together. So, has anybody heard of the tasty shoot 'em up by Natsume, Abadox?
Beat it.
Did you beat it legitimately?
Yes, twice.
Nice.
You don't see any alien-infested planets out there, dude.
Thank God not. But I do now.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. So right here, yeah, you actually just open the ROM and you have these graphics right here. Yeah, so at the bottom you see like a few different things for the mouse. Now, I'm going to show this off. That would be cool if there was actually. Why can't we have an Abadox movie? That'd be sweet. I'm just going to go in and do this. Yeah, Milton Bradley published this game. Yeah. So the graphics are meant for the intro. These graphics right here, which my pointer is pointing out, are actually completely incorrect tiles. You can see more on that later. And so we have our fearless soldier going forth into space to defeat the evil Parasitus and rescue the princess. Every game rescued a princess, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. There is a regional difference that's in the end of the game. I'll save you to look that one up. NSFW. Notice how the mouth does not move, though.
Yeah.
But we have animations for it right here.
So it's unused.
Yes. So my working theory is that I kind of feel like the game was rushed. So especially with all the like, because there's also a couple of other instances of wrong tiles being used. One is on an enemy for level 3, which looks weirdly like it's blinking when it shouldn't be. Incorrect tile there. But
Could have been that during development, like they had different graphics and different locations, like set up differently, and then they got over it.
it could possibly be that too. Yes.
Was it Abadox game by Mil? Game like
I'd imagine so.
story about that. You know how Nintendo back in the day, there used to be a cap on what third-party game.
Yeah.
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 And they bypassed that by getting other publishers.
Oh yeah,
games.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Or just,
Oh,
like
or just-
Ultra Games,
yeah.
subsidiary of Konami.
yeah, exactly. Ultra, one of Ultra's last published games was actually an NES port of Sid Meier's Pirates,
It's funny because
which is actually a fabulous game.
it's funny because that cap didn't exist in Japan.
Yes.
It's only in America.
Because they were concerned about. Part of it. Cap on. Crap, video games being released. We got something unused to Mega Man 5.
Kind of.
Only put out 5.
Yeah. But people can put more effort besides that cap. So
Bear with me. This one I kind of have to go down a bit of a ways to find, but there's kind of a little bit of an interesting piece in this. Here we go. So let me change. Let me change the color a little bit so it's a little easier to see here. There we go. So, yeah. So, so right here is actually, this is a very, very small developer note right here. So basically OBJ with a little arrow pointing to that part of the RockMan logo. So what happened was, to work around palette limitations on the title screen, specifically in the RockMan 5 version, they had to change just a little piece of the end to a sprite in order to make it work. Yeah. So that little OBJ arrow there, that's just a note, hey, this is a sprite. So so when we actually go into the game itself, I can spell. I do have an English degree. I put it to good use. I really do have an English degree. Add 20XX. So we skip ahead. There we are. So I got around it. So there is a sprite being used on there.
Because like the 8x8 tile
Yep.
map won't work with it.
Yeah. It's the lower left corner of the N.
The 5, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of jutting out from and creates the last part of the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so you see here. Yeah.
yeah.
So you see, yeah, you kind of see it here. Move it over here. Tile it out. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to be really clever back in that day because every piece of data counted. Especially, I believe a lot of them were coded in assembly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really had to be on the ball with what you were doing in that, with your space and everything. So,
Yeah, cartridge space was a real pain in the butt.
Assembly is the hardest coding language.
It really is.
So let's see. What I'm gonna do here is
The farther back in time you go, it gets harder.
yeah. So I'm gonna get one last thing ready. I'm gonna do a little thing here. We're gonna do. Let's see. That to yes. This together. Gonna scroll down a little bit. Gonna get things ready. And
There he is.
hey, what's that?
Oh.
Look at your spam.
Guy.
Yes, look at your card.
And it's also the
Your card has unused content on it. Yes.
Like do half the sprite and then just save.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do that.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for this. I don't know why they didn't do that for this one.
Well, that's what the filler
It's like
graph.
if you look next to the pumpkin is next to it. Again, it's a placeholder. But
Yeah.
It's also like this orient, like it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's basically that's just like a filler graphic, but technically your card does have unused content in it. I do things for a reason. Yes.
So nowadays, when right mirroring.
Uh-huh.
It's not consistent.
Yeah.
Is that usually, or is that just?
It's not laziness that.
Yeah, it could be a technical limitation.
It is a limit. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless, well, they could technically draw 2 sets of split. Like, why not flip them?
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of it, it's like it took up a lot. I'll get to you in just a second. Sorry. It took up a lot more space to actually have a mirrored graphic than it did to just flip the sprite. So just to save on data space back in the day, they would have to vertically flip that. Yeah, the CPS3 system, for example, the one that had Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, was specifically designed that it could hold that pretty well. Actually, that's kind of why Gil in the game, the final boss, is like half red on one side and half blue on the other. That's why. Just kind of demonstrate that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is. That's a good little factoid right there. It works real well, doesn't it? Yes.
And yeah, there's another unknown game. You probably saw it in the game, but Rumble Fist. It uses similar things where it draws a sprite for each like 3D animated bone. It's all 3D animated technically,
Yeah.
but it's all 2D sprite based. It's messes and all that.
It sounds like a reverse version of Donkey Kong Country, where they made the 3D models and then do the pre-rendered sprites and graphics.
Exactly that.
Oh, cool, nice. So yeah, now you can show with the card you can show everybody off your like cut content and that you've been to this panel. But one thing I do want to get into because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And also something we have done in the past too, video game prototypes. Are anybody not familiar with video game prototypes? I'm going to shake up the question.
Kind of sort.
Anything.
How about the
releases?
Yeah, basically pre-release versions. Technically, as the cutting room floor, we don't use the term beta because beta is kind of more a specific point in development. So we use prototype as a catch-all term for a work in progress build of a game, basically.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, developers like the alpha and beta.
Yeah.
But it works for them. It's just they're more like.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Every developer has their own form of version.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not. Yeah. So every dev has their own thing. So like just for example, like Capcom might not use beta, but maybe Konami does. So who knows? Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. So since I have a Genesis emulator up, ready and raring to go, why don't we show off one? Let's see. Prototype. Oh God, what Sonic prototype should I show off?
Three.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let me see. I'm gonna do this one for funsies.
Just a disclaimer. I helped make this possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't make this possible.
I donated to help.
Yeah.
So this is actually a very this is probably the only known Sonic 3 specific prototype. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Is Flying Barry playable on?
Yes.
I don't know yet. Let's find out. There we go.
Sort of.
Yes. Hey. You were supposed to give me a debug mode. Dang it.
Did you do 1357?
I just did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think you hold down A start.
Yeah. I got it. I just don't think I held it at the right time. There we go.
You got it.
So notice how it's rather early, and we have such riveting graphics as
I think those
Ah!
The Oz are supposed to be like animated tiles.
Yeah, they are. They're just kind of placeholder.
Animated tiles.
But if anyone remembers the "Gotta Go Fast" meme, I remember somebody doing like spikes going through Sonic's foot. Ah! Ah!
The music is slightly different too.
Yeah, it still goes off sync too.
Goes off sync, yeah.
But you really need debug mode to really explore this area here. Because there's not like a lot of objects here. You can call up some of the badniks here, yeah.
Yeah, enemies are-
Yeah, the synth is slightly higher pitched.
Techno Squeak, still in the manual. So not appearing in this film. One of them is actually kind of buggy.
Yeah, it's the vertical.
This one.
Yeah. The,
Blap, 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 blap.
he's the one going.
Ah! Nice riveting graphics.
Fun fact, this was used for the state that screen for
Yep.
Yeah. Even the Hydro City one. In there, yeah. You'll see Hydro City look completely.
Yeah. Yeah, cause check the. Yeah, cause I used like pre-release things from it, and yeah, check out that background actually. Yes. I forget. Let me check.
It's in this level.
Reach out. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Give me a hand, folks. Yeah. All right. I love how you'll do anything I say. Where the heck is...
This is that one. Yeah.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Yes. And it uses Sonic 2's. Yeah,
Whee!
it uses Sonic 2's color scheme. That's why. That's why
Yeah.
the colors are all messed up.
Now you see the background where there's a lot of leafy things in it. If like right, you can kind of see the leafy things on the bottom right there. Yeah, that's what comes from the original picture in the actual version. I don't know if I want to try doing the debug mode in the actual Sonic 3.
No, that's a terrible.
No, that's poor life decisions right there. But you can look that up on your own for the status screen there. But one other thing that was found and put and kind of rehacked in an extra version of it. Hey, we found early lava reefs.
with bad collision.
Yes. That collision reeks of Uptown Funk.
Yeah, the art's completely different here. Very unpolished.
Yes.
The death egg looks completely different.
At least that works.
You gotta be careful with it. It might be.
Yeah.
You might also crash again.
That's buggy right there. Do not.
That one will crash the game.
Cool. Crash.
Called it.
Soft reset works for the win. But yeah, there's lots to explore and lots to check out with that particular one. So there's so much more. I wish I had more time to show off.
The reason that got split is because of McDonald's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ronald.
Thanks, Ronald.
But here's also with a prototype. Here's a kind of fun factoid. So, Parody World Monster Party, not released in Japan, released in America. This is the Japanese version. That was very hard to get, mind you. So,
You just sent me that.
remind me, yes. Yeah, that's still in there. I just want to get to the first boss for a minute. It's still just as weird as you expect.
Yeah,
Dragon.
very strange game.
Yes. Hello, baby. So yeah, it absolutely is Little Shop of Horrors. You are totally right.
Yep, copyright content.
Yo, oh my goodness, yes. Notice the different sound effect it makes when there we go. We notice that, and we're gonna stand on the speaker because that's cool.
Yes.
But when we get to the actual released version,
Japanese copyright law is so strange.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you about that. There's another Sonic. Yeah.
yes,
Why was this not released?
I don't honestly know.
I don't know. But yeah, like, Japanese copyright law is weird. Like, you have different copyright laws for the manga adaptation and anime adaptation of the series.
There it is. Okay,
That's why Dragon
I
Ball.
was gonna say.
and now we have.
Person who has that Sonic CD prototype is very, very afraid of Japanese.
Nah.
Probably what we don't.
And now we have the actual version. If you notice the prototype, he has the little he character because his name is Hiroshi, and they just did the same thing here but with M. Yes, I'm burnt. Ow, rude. You're not giving me. Alright, fine. Hello, baby!
Oh wow, it's a picture planet.
Yep.
So speak.
Hey, rude.
Kept on the stage.
There we go. Notice the difference hit noise, too. Uh-huh.
So as I went, here I just people.
Yeah, parody.
Yeah, exactly.
Parody avoids copyright law, which is a lot of companies use that excuse.
Ouch. There we go. Yeah, speaker is there. They blanked out the graphics but didn't take out the collision.
Yeah.
Oops. Bonk.
Yeah, like, that's why Dragon Ball, like, some of the newer stuff, like, because the Super manga is still in production, Ultra Ego Vegeta is not in, like, any of the fighting games. They use the anime copyright, not the manga copyright.
Yes. All right. But let's go to one of my favorite prototypes, though. We're gonna get to that in just a second here. So let's. So has anyone ever heard of Monster in My Pocket before? Cool. I still don't feel old. So basically, Monster in My Pocket was like a fad toy line in the 90s that were basically consisted of rubber monsters. It's also the reason why Pokemon is called Pokemon in the US and not Pocket Monsters. Too close to the copyright, speaking of which. So this is actually dubbed by the same team that did the NES Kid Dracula game.
Whoa.
Bunku Dracula-kun! So I'm going to play through a little bit of the original. Just kind of watch and keep an eye out on things. Make some mental notes. Just watch everything, basically. So we have the vampire and the monster. I'm going to play some monster this time. Why not?
He's vampire.
Yes. And now we're gonna have a riveting cutscene right here. Gonna tell us all about the story. Ha 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 ha! I sent out my henchmen while you were watching TV. They will defeat you. Oh, it gets better. Come on, Warlock, we will beat you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably more riveting in the Japanese. I don't remember there being.
There wasn't. This was specifically made for America and Europe. So yeah, just kind of keep things in mind. When we get to the prototype, I'm just gonna have you call out like the differences. So
Slap stuff. Konami music typically does slap.
can you all hear the music in the back too? I'm gonna do you a favor. The soundtrack will slap. Sorry for it being loud in the front. I will rectify that shortly. Is it a little better? Rude. All right.
You may want to turn up the. Emulator volume? There we go.
Sorry for the people in the front who find it too loud.
No,
I'll turn it back down in a minute. What? Okay, good. Oops. Getting distracted here.
Sounds like Bayou Billy. Which it was the same composer.
But yeah, this is also, if anyone ever saw Nick Arcade, this was actually one of the video game challenges that they had for it. I can't remember the point, but they had 30 seconds to get like so many points in this game, so this is kind of a cool spot here.
Go fast.
So yeah, you do have a double jump in this game too, if you hadn't noticed.
Health bar at the bottom left.
Yeah, the bottom left. I think I might have accidentally left a cheat on because I was playing through it one day.
Oh, it's the first level boss.
Yes. So, thankfully, this is just demonstration purposes and not anything actually, you know, I'm being legit. I have mad skills. So I did beat the original Ninja Gaiden, so, you know, let me have my moment.
Yeah.
I win!
Yeah.
All right. So now, why don't we get to the okay, Telegram, Discord, please stop. Oh no, it's totally on me. All right.
Just set your status.
It never makes a difference. No. All right, let's see. So, monster in my pocket. The prototype. So this was actually a TCRF exclusive release back in I think around 2014, I believe. There's our riveting demo.
Or did somebody else?
Oh, we got it dumped. I'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, we're gonna watch the demo again because it'll really show you how to play the game. There you go.
Yeah, it didn't show anything.
All right. So in this build, only the first area 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 are accessible. That's the reason why I only play through the entire first level because that's all there is in the prototype. So you press.
There's no leftover. There's no like work in progress data.
There's some other stuff, but not as far as graphic goes. There's actually an early soundtrack. There's an early soundtrack to it, at the very least.
Probably some residual code for the additional levels.
Yeah. And so right here you can choose from vampire or the monster. I haven't done much with 2-player yet because I haven't had a chance to. But let's use our monster. Holler out any differences you can see.
The music is completely different.
Yes.
Punch sheets are different.
Yes.
The animations,
animations are way
smooth. Yeah.
Yes.
The graphics, the background graphics are a little different. They look a little bit more speckled.
Yep.
The key is missing.
Yes. Good notice.
I think that zombie looks different.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, because Frankenstein was copyright.
That guy's broken.
Yeah. Bug. So another thing you can do when you pause the game, you have free movement mode.
I must go now. My planet.
Yes. It brings the sprites with you.
Breaks their AI.
Oh yeah, that's the fun of it.
Oh my god.
Just the sound effects are different. The explosion's different.
Yes.
Flickering.
Yeah. My guess too is that the little flashing thing at the bottom might have been a CPU usage meter.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. And then we go back to here. So we have to go through this menu every time we want to play something. So 1, 2.
But they don't have a next level transition.
No, they don't have any level transitions yet. It just takes you back to the main menu. There we go. Keep hollering out differences as you find them.
Does the vampire look different than the final version?
He does a little bit, yes. I can't switch characters to show them off, but it very much is.
Their portraits are different at the
That's
bottom.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pink and not many people say that one out. Yeah, it's pink instead of yellow. I don't know if the whole there's no enemies in that section, so I can't tell you if the whole run invincibility thing was programmed in yet.
I don't think it was because he wasn't flashing.
Well, he may not have been flashing, but it could have been an effect. Like the flashing might have just been like a cue they added after they finished the effect.
Yeah, that whole section could have been hard.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Yes. You actually also have infinite lives in the build, so even though you have 0 lives and die, you just... Yeah.
Yeah, that was for testers.
Yeah.
You just die and go to the... Finally.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, you couldn't see my graphic, but it was there. Oh, boy, you really can't see my graphic.
Yeah, we can't see that.
Oops.
Right, bro.
Yeah. And now... Bosu. Boy,
His face is different.
Yeah, there's... Oh, here we go. Yeah, his face is different.
The knives look different. He doesn't... The knives are...
I win!
Wow.
So I punch him in the butt. I win. All right. So here. Okay. So here's the biggest thing that I want to mention at the end of everything. You're gonna go through my own personal crap in just a minute here.
Yeah. Did they ever?
I don't know if they ever did it, but that was a 10th anniversary one.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna have time to show that off. I think I'm not gonna have time to show that off because there might be another panel coming right after.
Right.
But I can always send it to you. Hang on, I'm getting lost. There we go. Okay, so there's a picture of that and another prototype, which is like Monster Party. The NES Strider was released in America and not in Japan. That's actually the Famicom Japanese version. And that's also the Monster in My Pocket build that I showed off.
So wait, that's unreleased?
In Japan only.
Okay. So is the Japanese version like...
Nope, none.
No difference?
There are differences, but it's just not available in Japan.
Oh.
I'm not going to go into the differences because there's plenty of them, and it takes up too much. It would take
How
up more
early
time.
is it in development?
I would say...
They have a date.
It doesn't have a date, but I would say it was the last build that they had of it before the project got canceled in Japan. That would be my guess. Yes.
Is it easier?
I don't think so. It's a lot buggier. Yeah, that's fun. But why do I show this off?
You own it. Preservation.
Yeah, preservation.
Preservation is important, but you also nailed it. I own these 2 prototypes right here. And even though I am a private collector, yes, I am also not a proto hoarder. If you're ever interested in checking these out for yourselves, I will gladly send them over to you.
It's actually a really good idea to preserve these as soon as you can. If you ever get your hands on them, get them as soon as you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The EEPROM,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that, actually. I'm going to be careful about that now. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Thank you. Yes. I think there might be a couple of them on the Strider one. On the Monster in My Pocket one, that's the only known one.
Oh.
I promise you, it's safe.
Yeah, wait, so where did these come from? They come from...
Yeah, I think they can, they generally would get these out to magazines, in-house testing builds, stuff like that, basically.
A developer just sold or something?
It could have been, yes, because I actually got these from a collector friend who actually purchased the last 2, and we just made sure to get these dumped. And then when she got out of game collecting entirely, while I was still collecting for NES games. She sent them in when I bought a bunch of games. Yes.
Well, that's a good question.
I know there's unused assets from it, but I don't know of an actual playable build, but there is some in development stuff on there. Oh yeah. Actually, that might have been dumped. That might have been dumped actually, if I remember correctly. I think it was a localization prototype.
What was the game?
Euphoria, the saga.
Yeah.
Oh.
I own Habaraki. That also came in the group of games. But yeah, so if you're ever interested in checking the ROMs out on your own, I'm just as glad to share them. And with that, we have come to time. So I just want to thank you all again for coming to my panel and spend some of your quality epic FWA time with me. And I also want to give a shout out to Gavin here, who's been helping record this panel. And for my buddy Aaron, aka Pixel Poxo, for kind of helping me gather some stuff here and there too for the panel. So thank you.
You're welcome.
With that, have a great rest of your con, and have a great time. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot that you've come out of here to hear me talk about these old games.